My name is Palomo. I'm starting this video because I'm fed up. I've seen what's happening in America and around the world, and I can't get anybody to notice it with me. So I wanted to show you this. I don't know how else to do it. It's been a long time, at least 100 years, that some of y'all can witness and see, eyewitnesses are still alive from like 1903, maybe not that old, but as far back as 1920, it could be right now. So somebody's 100 years old. My point is that I'm about to show you something right here. I don't even know if I need to show you guys, but I don't know. The only way you guys listen anymore is to see some flashy videos, some movie. You need a movie all the time, like professionally done with freaking names all over it and stuff, and gotta have Universal Studios or something to be flashing in. Like have their fancy where they fly into the world and their name spins around or whatever. You gotta have all that for you to listen or watch, I guess. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to get out to you guys so you can come together. That's the whole point. Is come together. You gotta quit letting them divide us, regardless of our issues. We're all human beings, and the division is killing us. The whole world, even the planet, everything, because we are uncommunicating. We're just want to talk about what we are as a person and how you affect us with your actions, or we affect you with our actions, vice versa. Yes, it's a we thing. We're all human beings here. I'm secluded right now. I'm on my own land and in my own trailer by myself. I don't even have my little freaking dog anymore. It fucking took him from me. Whoever, divine being, physical being, whoever the fuck it was, took him from me. You know what I mean? And I wasn't ready for him. He got bit by 3 ticks, and it's a big fucking loss to me. Why? Because, man, that little fucker he's my buddy. I mean, he just listened to everything I'd said. He went everywhere with me. He wasn't like the rest of them. Nobody here. He was there with me through almost all of COVID or whatever, for at least the first fucking from around May until just recently, which this is November. That was November 26th. He was taken from me. It was cool, but anyways, I'm a person, and there's a lot of shit going on to human beings right now. Let me change. My hand's getting tired. I got a selfie stick, but I don't have time for all that really, and I really don't have time to make a freaking video. I mean, I got all that production work, and I can do all that stupid shit. But I mean, and I'll probably have to, because you guys won't see that anything else. I'll have to come up with make a big name for myself, or get some big name to sign on to it, so you guys will watch it. I mean, Michael Moore, all them people, they put out fancy ass videos. You guys don't listen to none of that shit. You know what I mean? I've been listening long before that. Whether they're involved or not, whether they're using their money to do anything good or not, I don't know. I'm not here to judge that. I'm here to express my beliefs or the way I feel about it, and I'm open-minded to it. You know what I mean? I'm not. I know everybody's like, blood, your blood, your blood. Well, if you do your DNA test, man, what kind of blood you got in you, for real? 3 or 4 different types. Even the people that say they're white power, yeah, you probably European, Irish, British. You got 3 different types or some shit. You ain't just got one. My point. Why? And it ain't even cool. It ain't even cool why we all mix, really. Either the Spaniards or the British or whoever came and invaded, colonized, invaded, and raped the women and had kids with them. So that's why most of us are who we are. And is it our fucking fault? No. But people like British, them people I don't know how they think, but some of them think like they're better than us. And like, oh, you're even created by somebody that was a rapist. So, I mean, everybody wants to pass judgment. That's reality. Is that motherfucker was a rapist. I ain't judging him or none of that. Rapist is what he is. You know what I mean? However, whether it's Mexican, Aztec, and Indians, Spaniards and Indians, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Filipinos, Chinese, they think they're the superior race. Man, there ain't nobody superior. We're all the same. We're here. We didn't ask to be here, but we're here. So we got to make the fucking best of it, is my point. And there's some people out there making it worse for others. That's bullshit. I'm getting fucking tired of that. You know what I mean? You got 1% that's fucking billion or trillionaires, and the rest of us are trying to fucking scrape by. And oh, I ain't even judging. Was watching some stuff earlier about some fucking glass company in America that took over GM factory and brought in a bunch of Chinese that are supervisors, which whatever, and took a bunch of the old GM people's, previous employees from the GM factory and put them in the position of labor. So it's pretty much slave labor in America. And either way, people, what I'm noticing is whether they're Chinese or whether they're American, they're still freaking slaves. They're still barely scrounging and shit. Well, you think just because you're getting paid this bullshit dollar bill that you're making money, or you're rich, or that you're wealthy, or that life is cool or good, and that's why you don't want to stand up against your oppressors? This is what it is. There are oppressors. Stay with me, people. Our oppressors. So it is what it is, man. You got people out there, whether you're for Black Lives Matter, or you're for equality, or whether you're for more jobs, whether you want to call it being a tree hugger or whatnot, to care about the environment and to want to by now I've damn near demand that we find an alternative energy source. Right now, I'm running this place off where I live right now off of solar, and I have a generator that uses a gas. Yeah, I still have to use a little gas, but I can turn it off right now and still watch all these documentaries or do the research that I need to and keep my phone charged for the internet. There's alternative ways. I don't know about using the solar all the way, because if there's any kind of super volcano can pop off anytime. Like they're gonna tell us anyways if it's gonna happen or not, because whatever excuse they got, they want to fucking make the last dollar they can before everything kills off. I don't know why you want to keep money around if you're the last person on Earth. Might as well go back to the barter system, because if you ain't got no money, or if you ain't got nobody to spend any money on creating shit or to fund for science, for technology, or any of that stuff, well, what are you doing? You know what I mean? If you're trying to create, if anybody's going to try to make millions of dollars, it might as well be on creating better and alternative, for cleaner, for healthier, instead of just big pharma controlling everybody's lives and then letting fucking big oil and everybody else in industry come along. It's not even big oil anymore. Big oil makes silicon chips or whatever, all that stuff, So you gotta put the whole picture together, guys. The whole fucking system is all fucking corrupt. It's all evil, and if it's not, I will let you know. I guess I gotta fucking go and I guess I'll go break the whole system down. First thing I'm gonna do is go see who fucking just Google everybody that makes up our whole justice system, our whole government. I'll Google them all if you want me to. I'll go and do my research and show you how all of them are connected with just money, just corporation. I'll do that for you, and then we'll go down in line and we'll break down how they're polluting the fucking world, and how they're fucking you're not even trying to find a way to clean it up or anything, but also at the same time keeping it hush hush to keep your motherfucking ass uninformed, so what you can do to fucking live a healthier life, what your options are for your own self. I choose to smoke this, but at the same time, if I want to quit, I have to want to quit. They call it weakness. Well, if you put some chemicals in this shit that are addicting, is that my weakness, or is that your motherfucking ass using me against myself? And what do you call that? Good business? You call that good business? Is that what you can sleep with? If that's what they can sleep with at night. By the way, sleep. You guys that do have a bed to sleep in at night, I have a bed to sleep in at night too. But at the same time, do you take it for granted? Or are you taking advantage of it? Or My point is there's like 35,000 people just in one city alone, one city by itself. L.A., California. You know, there's some wealthy buying that up. You know, all the land, even a house 650 square foot is they're wanting, and probably they're asking right now. The asking price is $635,000 for that home. There ain't even a yard really. They're just ridiculous. Like I don't know what their plan is to do with what they're gonna do with California, but they're gonna own the whole thing. You know, they're gonna own all of LA and all that. So pretty much own a whole city that nobody wants to live in and stuff. I don't know what their plan is, but it'd be like colonized living probably. It's a way to kick out the peasants and keep them from, or control the whole city. You know, keep people there. They can't leave or whatever. Or start building some. Their plan is to do something. You know, they're wanting to buy all the land up. They're wanting to own the land. And, I mean, it's not just that. People, I mean, golly, I mean, where do I begin? Where do I begin? You guys got to come together. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, what I saw earlier, whenever I'm seeing a Chinese company buy American land, physical land, yeah, they own it. It's a Chinese person, and he's talking. I mean, I can show it to you, where the guy's talking to his Chinese employees, and he's right on one hand. He's saying that no matter what, you were born of a Chinese mother, and you were born from the country of China. And he's talking on our land to it's a staff meeting of just Chinese over there at some Pyongyang Glass of America is what they're calling it. So they brought Chinese people over to work with Americans, pretty much to give the owner feedback of how Americans are as workers, pretty much like so it's pretty much taking account of slaves. Why? Because they just won't tell you about it. It's going to just gradually go into that based on like justification of what it is right now. You guys are like programmed, I guess, to not do anything about or say anything. I mean, you guys talk a lot at work and stuff, or you guys chit chat a lot, but it's about bullshit. You know, you're talking about nothing to change nothing. You know, and I mean, I've done all the research. I can't fucking just sit here anymore and fucking go to work and work for $5 an hour or some bullshit job, or $12 an hour, and knowing damn well you ain't that $12 an hour ain't nothing anymore. You know what I mean? You guys, it's an illusion. You guys don't think. You got to look at stuff. Look at Argentina and Venezuela and what's happening over there. Man, Venezuela, that shit was deliberately done on purpose. That shit is done on purpose by our fucking government, you know. And the Venezuelan government, whatever his name is, I go look it up for if you want me to. You look it up. That motherfucker, he's like, I can't. It's hard to believe. He gave a speech. It's hard to believe. Just yesterday, the devil himself was standing right here giving a speech, and he was talking about Bill Clinton. It goes back farther than that. He's talking about Bill Clinton, yeah, and he's like, I can still smell the sulfur. He was serious too, and people were laughing, and he was serious. And I'm not choosing sides. I went and did my research on it, and I looked to see what happened. Our government creates sanctions based on how fucking how like they can't stand being said no to, or they're like little kids that have to have their fucking way, man. It's ridiculous. But it's not just the government. It's like, okay, let's say Bill Clinton was that way. They're all that way. You go look back and see why we bomb people, what reasons and stuff. It's like it was a dick swinging contest, people, basically. And they're using American people, and they're using Germans, or whether they're using Japanese, or whether they're using fucking the Vietnamese, or they're using Koreans, or they're using the freaking Chinese, or any of those Russians. It doesn't matter what they're using, whether it's population control or not. It's control. It's all manipulation for something. I mean, just for the coronavirus, go back and trace who's making money. Go back and see who made the most money from this shit, and follow the line down and trickle down. All I got to say is just, I mean, I know they don't care about us at all, because even Trump, whenever you all are like slanging from his nutsack, saying that he's sent from God, what the fuck are you thinking? Yeah, I'm so sure a guy that's got on, they got a voice recording of him saying, just grab him by the pussy. Yeah, he was sent by God. Yep, the God sent him straight up. Yep. Yep. I ain't saying he ain't sent from God, but for somebody to believe that, well, how have you been programmed? You know what I'm saying? I mean, have you done anything, any type of research at all to see if this man is somebody that you want to speak for like that? Come on, think, think. God, you know what I mean? All I can say right now is I can't see anybody that's made that much money that's ever made it fucking honestly. And that's all I can say. That he didn't screw somebody over, and that's all I can say about anybody that's got billions of dollars or even freaking making it. Somewhere down the line, they had to have did a bad deal somewhere, made some put some things in the clause you didn't read, you read indirectly or skipped over, or whether they hired a lawyer that changed the contract or changed, shady, shady, shady everywhere, man. Everywhere shady. Everywhere I look, shady, shady, shady. If you look deep enough, you'll see where they were involved in some shady shit. You know what I mean? Any of them. And that's what we're fixing to do. That's what I'm fixing to do for you motherfuckers right now. That's why I'm making this video. Because I'm sorry if you don't see it and you're still working and not making shit. I mean, you just go along with it. You conform to it. You'll probably be the ones that live. You'll be living down on your knees, and they'll come kill me or something probably because I'd rather die though on my fucking feet, walking, standing straight up, and my own man, than die on my fucking hands and knees working as a slave for these motherfuckers. So, there's a difference between coming up with something that the world needs or is in high demand of, and therefore you become successful, celebrities, people like their movies. But there's a difference between liking somebody as a celebrity or being grateful to somebody for a job. There's a difference between that and being forced into slavery, into a corner. My example is that GM shut down and moved overseas. And the Chinese come in and buy the fucking factory and take the same workers that were making $30 an hour and they're now making $12 an hour. You know what I'm saying? And they're not even like, they're just a labor hand. The Chinese people, they're the supervisors. They're watching over them, but at the same time, they're 2 years away from their family in China. So, and the only difference is they're in America working, so they get the opportunity to see what you can do without anybody controlling your thinking, basically, hypothetically or theoretically. But they're still under control, and they've already been basically brainwashed with propaganda on TV, like you're being brainwashed, except for the research that they did to find out how to brainwash you all is a different type of research based on the type of way of life you have. You just don't understand it, and I don't know. I've been on drugs. I've tried nothing pharmaceutical though. So I've never done no heroin. I wouldn't do any what's that shit that they're using in heroin to cut heroin or whatever. Fentanyl, fuck that shit. Excuse me. Morphine, I've never been on none of that. But why would you still have on the market something legal that even on the news, they're fucking propaganda news, controlled news by the billionaires. You look and see who owns the news. Disney owns some of them. Who just bought Turner? Turner was a huge one. I got a list of them somewhere. Somebody bought Turner. Damn. They're all five of them. Five major corporations own all your news and all your TV, every network. So they're all pushing their own agenda, or they're for the same agenda, bought by the same people. You know what I mean? Or owned by the same billionaires because they can't be bought anymore because they're one of the controllers. You're either either can be bought or you're slaves. So they work you for nothing. But it's about enough. Even these Chinese people are over here giving speeches at their employees staff meetings or picnics, talking about we need to do what's best for production. Our clients like Toyota depend on us. It's like, man, be real. You know, you're saying us as you stand here, bitching about how much it's costing you to put a fucking awning over a company picnic or the, like grand opening or whatever of your business or glass manufacturing company. You're bitching about putting an awning because it might rain, but you want to change where the garage door is. It's going to cost you $35,000 just to change it from one wall to the next. As for probably privacy, or you just can control. It's a control thing is that they're doing over everybody. And you work for these people work for them no matter what they think. They can't say nothing or else they'll get fired. Why? Because this is how they've got it to where if you won't do it, they'll find somebody that will, and you won't. And these people, so you can't create a conscience. You can't speak up and say nothing because you're trying to feed your families. I understand people, but you can't let them do this to you. They've got it like this to where you're slaves all around the freaking world. If you ain't a slave, they bring your own army in. Your own people come in and kill you, or make you conform. That's the way it's been around the world. That's why this is the only place left that you have the right to possess firearms, and you better keep that fucking right if you want to fucking ever have any kind of right or say so for yourselves. And it's been happening since this country was created. You know, if you look back, I've got access. You've got access to everything like I do. You know, I'm sitting here in COVID, conforming already to what they want me to do. You know, which they say sit at home, so I'm sitting at home. So what are you doing while you're sitting at home? This is what I'm doing. You know. See, this is the problem with solar. As I sit here saying I'm running off solar, it's daylight out, but I've already used some of my solar up. This isn't. Yeah, so I'm one of the people. Ridiculous solar wasting money. Yeah, in a way, it is. But you know what? They're regulating technology. They're keeping it like a battery, for example. They're acting like a battery's so hard to make, in a way, which it is in some. You don't have the right chemicals and shit that we have access to because we mine and stuff. We're sucking everything out of the planet. So, you know, they're justifying. On one hand, they'll justify needing it. On the other hand, like good stuff, for example, stuff that's good for the body or is good, like healthier, that'll keep you alive, probably, and stuff like that. For example, probably miracle drugs. They're keeping that hush hush, like they're so hard to mine and it's so difficult to get. It's such a difficult process to get. You know, there's all kinds of shit that are a difficult process to get people, and it's whatever they push, as you know, whatever they want to push. And right now, they're all killing you. You know, whether they're trying to justify needing wheat crops for farming and stuff, or taking the land for farming. You know, like by government farming subsidies and all that stuff, passing all that stuff. The Great Depression, all that stuff was manipulated. Okay, they didn't create maybe they did create the Dust Bowl. Maybe they did create this sandstorm or this wind that came in and took all the topsoil, so therefore there was no way to grow any crops and keep any seeds in the ground to grab roots, because you know, whether they made all that or not, I don't know, but they used it as their advantage, and maybe that's one time they did use Mother Nature in their advantage without manipulating it. But at the same time, they made the discs and the plows to come and tear all the topsoil and take all the grass out of the ground, so that couldn't keep the soil together. So I'm just saying, you know, they created this shit and they put it out there without thinking about the consequences or any long-term or short-term effects. You know, most nowadays they might look at the short-term effects, but they don't mean that they're not fucking put something out there that's still not unhealthy, because you can't see the short-term effects. Long-term effects, they can't really necessarily pinpoint back to the specific thing, because there's so many things you're putting in your body and consuming nowadays that they're killing you. They're toxic. It's like, that don't justify you dying. You get 65 years old from cancer of the pancreas because rice, sugar, Coca-Cola, definitely Diet Pop, McDonald's all fucking killed you. All created cancer, and Taco Bell, because their meat's got carcinogens in it. It's like, golly, you go look at it too, and your constitution, or The Bill of Rights are the amendments to the Constitution, which is a bill to either break, like nowadays they call them amendments, or a bill is presented and then another one is amended because you can't like what, you can't get rid of them, you can't take away an amendment, you can't. How many bills have they passed? You don't even know. As an American citizen, you don't even know how many laws have been passed to use against you. You know, for example, you as an American citizen, a lot of you will say Obama was the best president ever. Well, I can't even tell you which one I think was the best. Probably the one that didn't fucking kill everybody, kill a bunch of people. That'd be probably one of the best. Is my example, is my guess. But I mean, it goes back to the Constitution when it was written. You got to understand, when that motherfucker was written, it was not about the people. It sounds like we the people, but if you look at the actions and you read the fucking court recordings that they got, the stuff that they talked about, there's a lot of them that they didn't want you to have the right to vote. They didn't want to give 100% of the people the right to vote here. I think, and I'll go look at it again. There's so much I've looked at that I'm trying to cram them into one freaking day or a month or however long this is lasting, where I still collect my unemployment. Because I'm living off of unemployment that I put in, that they justify taking out of my checks. So, I mean, where's that a bad thing? They told me your president that you love so much, Mr. Trump, expressed was portraying with his body language and his voice and his words that this virus was something that you should take serious enough to quit your job if you had to, or if you needed to, like, or he said he was talking, even like, if I ain't gonna quote him, but even if he was saying stuff, it was more along the lines of, if you need, I can't recommend that you go home or not. That you have to use your own judgment. And then they just went on with what they were saying about how deadly it was, and these people this is your government. It shouldn't be just like iffy. And on top of that, you get Dateline or 60 Minutes. You get shows coming out about the very first COVID case, and then they break down. Come to find out that they already kind of knew about it, and there was a possibility of it happening. Or even if they, like SARS, or it's a type of COVID or some shit. It's like they said that they got that from people eating bats in China. That's how that started. Then they're trying to say that maybe this started that way. It's like, wait a minute. If you know this motherfucker's got this disease that can kill you, why the fuck are you still eating it? So I don't think they would be, but if you're just watching the news, or if you ain't watching the news, then you don't know. That's a third world country in some parts. You don't know. At the same time, their meat markets ain't just like some fucking spick and span place. They're all using the same water to gut the thing, clean it, and then skin it and hang it. All day long. Same shit. Goes in the same water. Hell, if that ain't bad enough at the market, you got people that are throwing their own waste in the water and bathing and shitting and throwing trash in all the same freaking waterway. And then you got the freaking upstream instead of downstream, way up, looking at the top of the stream. You got the industrial people putting their waste in the fucking water all the way up the stream, killing you deliberately all down the stream. The people live all down the stream. And you think they give a fuck? It's even another benefit for them. Why? Because they're going to fucking buy all the fucking land from all the people that died right there. Or they're going to own it all after the people that died right there. And they just keep paying off governments. And even hell, they even probably pay the people that live there to dump it there. But they're paying. People are taking the money because they need it. Because all the price of everything's going so fucking high. You can't get a job even because they're justifying it with the economy and the bubble bursting that they created. The housing fucking crisis, they created that shit. By allowing the banks to fucking give out loans on land like that, and then allowing fucking people to come in and refinance, or not to mention you fucking wanting to refinance your home after you own it or remortgage it or whatever, then promising they can put it in a one lump sum and stack your equity and blah blah blah. They also the ones that created the increase in land value, and also the ones that created the supply and demand for wanting your land value, or wanting your land as making your land valuable. But then you win remortgages, so how can they say, whenever they bought it from you lost it, and they paid half of what you paid for it, or less. You know, they just paid the fucking what you owed behind on your mortgage, pretty much. You know, and from the bank don't own it. Nobody owns it. It's all in a computer system under some bullshit fucking guidelines. Under that you or the employee that puts them in the computer is reading off of a computer. It's all computer-based programming and shit that tells you what to do as a person. If this is going on as this, then do this, or this is where all this is supposed to be logged. And now, you know, they're asking for another verification of, and they want a copy ID if you're in Oklahoma, and with your Oklahoma ID, photo ID, set to confirm your identity for unemployment. And then if you look into the company that, like me, I looked into the company that's setting up or confirming your ID. They're doing facial recognition, so they're free, but free. They're having you put your name and shit in your face, send that picture in voluntarily to justify getting your unemployment. That's scandalous shit, and it pisses me off. You know, 'cause that facial recognition ain't gonna be used for no good. They're gonna use it to fucking nab prisoners that rob them and steal from them. And the only reason, and they're creating them people, the robbers and the thieves. How are they not? You got somebody that's choosing to starve himself to death, living on the streets already, and then you got snow and rain and all that shit coming on top of that, and then you got on top of that, every day, all day long, if he holds a sign up that says we'll work for food or any little money will help, he's holding all day, and thousands of people pass by, and he don't get nothing, and he's fucking hungry as fuck. You think that he's gonna start caring at all about any of y'all after he's witnessing like half the freaking world pass by, like half the population pass by and not give him a penny? But then you got them all labeled as alcoholics and drug addicts. How you not? How you gonna live on the streets and not be sedated? Fuck, you already hate not having a place to fucking call your own or lay your head. You're starving to death and you're fucking freezing to death and nobody there with you. You're fucking dirty and you can't take a shower. No, you're not welcome any fucking where because you might be a thief or you want to rob them or whatever. But how you can you see people 35,000 homeless in just LA alone, and they're moving from there, and you're not concerned. If you own a home, you don't care, and you expect them to fucking care about not kicking in your fucking door, whether you got a gun or not. That's how I break this shit down. It's like, okay, that's how you break it down. It's like, okay, somebody might break in your house, so you as a homeowner, you carry a firearm. What if they take that away from you? And then you want to defund the police. Who you gonna call whenever you're fucking you, or maybe one of your loved ones is laying there bleeding out? Who you gonna call to come protect you? Or or who's going to keep anybody from kicking in your door whenever there ain't nobody there to come like that, or to prosecute you go and hunt down your maybe who shot you and robbed you, and maybe your murderer or your loved one's murderer. Who's going to go and track them down and put them away for to do their time? Because and that's not even justified time that they're calling it society or the citizens. You know, you owe the citizens the time. You owe them time.